This is Midweek Politics with Dave Pakman.
Hey, welcome to Midweek Politics. I'm David Pakman. Visit us on the web, midweekpolitics.com. The iPad giveaway we're doing, Lewis, is heating up. To be honest, I'm getting more questions every day about the iPad giveaway than about anything we're actually discussing on the show, other than, of course, whether people want you to talk more or less. We're giving, basically, the long and short of it is, for our 5-year anniversary on the show, which was last week, we're doing an iPad giveaway. A couple of ways to get in on the action, so to speak. You can become a member on the Members Podcast. You can sign up for our newsletter. All the information's on our website. And the most interesting question I got was from someone asking, if I win, will you ship it to me in Singapore? And yes, the answer is we'll ship it anywhere. I mean, I guess we can't. There's probably certain places we can't ship an iPod, right?
Places we'll be talking about later in the show.
Yeah, certain Korean, we won't say which side, east, west, north, south, but a certain Korean country we probably would not be able to ship one to. But Singapore, as far as I know, we can ship it. We'll ship it wherever you are, as long as it's legal. Now, I have no idea if people will have to pay some kind of strange taxes on it. I don't know if it will work with their power supply, but we'll ship it wherever. So log on, midweekpolitics.com. Make sure October 1st we'll be doing the giveaway. I don't know if we're going to do it live on the show, if we'll do it off air and then just announce it. We'll still figure it out. But the important part is there is an iPad. It will be given away, and we will announce the winner on October 1st. Barack Obama gave his end of Iraq speech yesterday. I watched this thing, and it's funny. I don't really have that much to say about it. I mean, we talked last week about is this or is this not the end of the war in Iraq? And actually, the poll on midweekpolitics.com asked that exact question. Do you believe the war in Iraq has ended? And I guess it's not really surprising, Lewis. The overwhelming majority, basically 4-1, 73%, or 3-1, 73% said no. They don't believe the war in Iraq has ended, whereas 21% said, yes, I believe that the war in Iraq has ended. And you said at the end of the show you don't think it's over.
No. Well, how do you define war? Is it sheer scale? I mean, I think we'll always have a military presence there now.
But that doesn't mean that the war is always going on,
Doesn't necessarily mean it's a war. Do I think it's over right now? No.
We have troops in Germany. We're not at war. I don't think anybody would say right now we are in a war with Germany. Maybe you would say that.
We have a base in Japan. Are we at war with Japan? No.
Well, maybe we are. No, obviously we're not. No, I get your point. Yeah, just to say that we went below 50,000 troops. What's magical about 50,000 is signifying that the war is over. And of course, we talked about George W. Bush said, he didn't say it, he stood in front of the Mission Accomplished banner and said major combat operations have ended. That was years ago. That was months into the war. So we'll keep an eye on it. The criticisms, well, here's a little bit of the beginning of Barack Obama's speech on getting out of Iraq.
Good evening. Tonight, I'd like to talk to you about the end of our combat mission in Iraq, the ongoing security challenges we face, and the need to rebuild our nation here at home. I know this historic moment comes at a time of great uncertainty for many Americans. We've now been through nearly a decade of war. We've endured a long and painful recession. And sometimes, in the midst of these storms, the future that we're trying to build for our nation, a future of lasting peace and long-term prosperity, may seem beyond our reach. But this milestone should serve as a reminder to all Americans that the future is ours to shape.
Okay. Well, the funniest thing to me to discuss about this are the criticisms that Republicans threw out there about the speech before it actually happened, of course, getting a copy of the speech and afterwards. And the biggest criticism was George W. Bush did not receive enough praise from Barack Obama during the speech. About the success of the war and because the surge was the turning point, and that was W's idea. The main criticism I've heard from Republicans is Obama did not compliment George W. Bush enough. It's funny. Republicans seem to obsess about not talking about George W. Bush now, right? I mean, anytime anybody says, you know what, the situation existed, whatever it was, jobs, the economy, the war, before Barack Obama assumed the presidency. No. Hey, stop talking about George W. Bush. Barack Obama is the president, and this is about Barack Obama and these issues. Well, I guess maybe that's not the case, because many of those same Republicans now saying, well, he didn't really talk about George W. Bush's role in the end of this war as much as he should have.
And how is that worthy of praise, is my question.
Well, the argument is because the reason we're able to get down below 50,000 troops now is because George W. Bush decided he was doing the surge. That's the argument. I think Barack Obama was more than generous enough to George W. Bush, much more than was necessary. I mean, let's be honest. It's because of George W. Bush and his cronies and their behind-the-scenes deals, personal vendettas, oil, the business dealings. Those are the reasons we went in the first place. Whatever success you want to attribute to the surge, once we got to that point, fine. And I think Barack Obama was more than generous to George W. Bush. But don't forget, the reason we went in the first place are all of those behind-the-scenes discussions and personal vendettas, the oil, the business dealings, the bizarre testimony from Colin Powell, which he now regrets.
It wasn't weapons of mass destruction.
Well, it
wasn't Saddam Hussein.
You know what's amazing is that's not even on our list at this point, Lewis. It's not even being discussed.
But it was a huge contributing factor.
The case that was made at the time, absolutely. And
ask any senator at the time why they voted. They'll say they were misled.
No question about it. And the success in Iraq, whatever success you believe has taken place there, has everything to do with the hard work of the men and women in uniform, the Iraqi people. President Bush's resolve, I don't know, but that's what Senator John Cornyn has said. He says President Bush's resolve is one of the main factors there. It has nothing to do, he says, with President Obama's campaign promise to carry out the previous administration's plan for returning U.S. troops from Iraq. Some saying it was style over substance. Some complaining that there were pictures of Obama's daughters in the background. I mean, come on. That's your complaint. There were pictures of Barack Obama's daughters on his own desk, in his own office. That's what we're complaining about. There was a Fox News editorial that said, we haven't left peace and success behind in Iraq. We've left a fiasco of a failure. I agree. But how is that Barack Obama's fault? How can you even really win in this situation? How would we know if we had won? One thing I didn't gather from the speech was what exactly are the 50,000 troops that are staying going to be doing if combat has ended, Lewis? What exactly will they be doing there? I have no idea.
Your guess is as good as mine.
Our new poll on midweekpolitics.com, rate Barack Obama's out of Iraq speech. How did he do? Starting at excellent all the way down to terrible. Log on, midweekpolitics.com, and tell us. Midweek Politics is made possible in part by CSR Wire, the corporate social responsibility newswire at csrwire.com, by DIF Design, specializing in custom business websites at difdesign.com. To find out more about underwriting Midweek Politics, visit midweekpolitics.com.